Welcome. I'm Jay with Hinano Ukulele, and I wanted to take a few moments of your time and go over a few of these different ukulele models. Number one would be your typical Hawaiian ukulele 4-string, like I'm holding here with the mahogany soundboard. As far as tuning, I'm just going to go over it real quick with you. If you want to go deeper into tuning or any other kind of tutorials, I suggest you Google ukulele tutorials, and there's lots of guys out there with really in-depth tutorials to help you through your ukulele journey. But right now, I just want to show you the difference between the Hawaiian ukulele, the Tahitian ukulele, and what I call the hybrid Tahitian Hawaiian ukulele. So this one, G-C-E-A. G-C-E-A. And this is typical to Hawaiian ukulele. Sometimes, often, people with a guitar background will drop this G an octave, so it scales. See, this jumps up. If you drop it an octave, it'll scale just like the bottom 4 strings of a guitar, just 2.5 steps higher, but the pitch will all be the same. So your typical 3 chords will be what Tahitians say 1, 2, 3. In music theory, you call it 1, 4, 5. So here we'll go with a C, an F, 2 fingers, a G. Hawaiians love the G7 versus the typical G. I'll go to a G7 and C. There's a vamp. But that's your basic 3 chords with the vamp 7th thrown in. So if you listen to that tone, let me get a Tahitian ukulele here. On the Tahitian ukulele, it's also G, C, E, A. And this is typically called the Tahitian banjo ukulele. The tuning difference, you're going to see that the 2 middle strings, your C and E string, are an octave higher. So that gives it a higher pitch. So here we have drops down, here it goes up. And all fingers the same. You're still going to have your 1, 2, 3. Basically all the same fingering. The scaling's going to be different because it's jacked up in the middle, but that's what makes it unique. Now on these, it's typical to see them in 8-string. Originally it was a 4-string instrument. I've got an old beater up here, and it started with a shark skin, then evolved to goat skin soundboard here. Then it went to cardboard, and now typically everyone's using wood similar to what you'd use make a soundboard out of on a Hawaiian ukulele. It lasts longer and really sends the sound out the back, which makes these instruments unique. Actually, the banjo and the violin and guitar were the first instruments brought into Hawaii and Tahiti. So they were playing banjo, a 4-string banjo, long before an ukulele ever came around. So a lot of music has that 4-string banjo roots to it. And then Tahitians just hung on to this style of play. Now I'd like to show you what I've done with the hybrid, what I call a hybrid. What we have here is your typical Hawaiian ukulele. This is a tenor, and then all the white strings, the Aquila Nilgut strings, are exactly the same tuning as your Hawaiian ukulele. But what I did is I doubled up the C and the E in the middle to the Tahitian sound. you strum it, it has that Tahitian higher pitch. You don't have to finger octaves to get that high sound. But then when you pick it, your fingers, the way I pick, my fingers hit the bottom strings. So when I pick it, it picks in Hawaiian, but it strums in Tahitian. This is what I call the hybrid. Typically, your 6-string is made in a tenor form like this, but they will double the bottom string, which is your A, and they'll double the C string. That's called lili'u tuning, and it was invented by the Kamaka brothers and introduced for statehood in 1959 here in Hawaii, in remembrance of Queen Liliuokalani, the last reigning monarch of Hawaii. She was a fantastic songwriter. There's the Queen's Book of Hawaiian Music that's a must if you really want to pursue Hawaiian music. I like it, but because of my travels to Tahiti, I was having conflicts with all my friends jacking up the C and E to fit the pitch that they liked, and things would explode. The bridges would pop off, and eventually I just thought, well, I'm just going to add the Tahitian sound to the Hawaiian sound, and then they're happy and I'm happy, and I don't have to look over my shoulder and babysit my ukuleles all day long or night long. So this is a hybrid. There's also 6-string tunings where they'll double the G and the C to give you more bass. They'll do low G, high G, low C, high C. It just goes on and on and on. It depends on the individual, what you like. The fuller sound is popular with having those extra strings, to the point that people even adore the 8-string, which every string is doubled. It really has a full sound. Better for strumming because, you know, picking where strings are doubled, especially if you butterfly pick, can become an issue. But it's whatever you like. And the same for the woods, the different wood types. Some are considered a mellower sound, so it's more inclined for strumming, like the mahogany. Red cedar like this one, or the spruce like the one over there. That's a stiffer soundboard, and it's more popular with people who pick because it really sends the sound out. This floating bridge I'm using was to take care of the issues with the glued-on bridge, and the tailpiece was also part of that. And this is something that was common in 40s jazz guitars. Some of the first ukuleles mass manufactured in 1910 by Horner, they used a floating bridge, so it's nothing new. I just thought I'd go off of the classic jazz approach with the oval sound hole and this bridge, and it turned out to work great because it actually requires less bracing in the soundboard, and therefore it sends more sound out, and it's really crisp. But that's basically all I have to share with you regarding the ukulele. If you want to take it a step farther, just Google ukulele instructions or ukulele whatever tutorial, whether it's specific to Tahitian or Hawaiian, and you're going to find lots of help. Ukulele Underground's a perfect example. Hawaii Music Supply does all kinds of tutorials that can take you through the journey of learning the ukulele. Anyways, hope you enjoy your journey. And don't ever forget your ukulele at home. Okay, aloha. Thank you.
That's good.